What's up guys, welcome back to your JavaScript series brought to you by CTC. In case you just skipped the first episode and bumped into this one, I still remain Tony Cletus, your instructor. Alright, so in this episode 16, we're going to be looking at the if, the else if, and the else statement. Now, in this episode, you will also get to know how to use the relational operators and how to use the Boolean data type also. Alright, let's take it step by step. Now the if, the else if, and the else statement, or as mostly called the conditional statements, are statements used to make decisions or compare two different expressions, or in a layman word, two different items, but still works for same items though. You can also simply see it as the process of checking if a condition is true or false. Understand? I think this sounds better. Now, oftentimes when you write code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions. This is very possible in JavaScript with the help of these kings and queens statement I'm talking about. And this is the structure of writing an efficient conditional statement. But mind you, there is one which is not here now. We have the fourth conditional statement, the switch case statement, which is used to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed, but we will be treating that in the next episode. Alright, let's take a look at this structure we are having here. Okay, now this is the if statement and this is the syntax structure for the if statement. You understand? Now the if statement is used to specify a block of code to be executed if a specified condition is true. That means if this condition is true and the condition is going to be inside this parenthesis, if the condition inside this parenthesis is true for this if statement, then this block of code here would be executed. Now, if this condition is not true, it will ignore this block of code and go over to the else if statement, which is used to specify a new condition to test if the condition is false. Understand? So when the first condition is false, the JavaScript interpreter will go ahead to check for the else if statement. And if this condition, which is going to be inside this parenthesis, is true, it will run the block of code as here. If the first condition, that is condition 1 and condition 2, are both false, it will go ahead to the else block statement and execute the block of code here. You understand? So that's how it works. And you can also have multiple 3, 4, 5 conditions. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say here. But you can also pause this video and try to think through this structure that is here and you get what I'm talking about. So we'll go ahead and clear this up and take a quick example. So first, we are going to compare two numbers. So we'll declare a variable for them. Variable x is equals to like 50 and variable y is equals to 50. And now we are going to check if x is less than y, or if x is equal to y, or if s is greater than y. And this is it. Now we said if s is less than y, document the right x is less than y. Understand? And the next one is if x is equal to y, document the right x is equal to y. Now don't be confused by this equal to y. We are using the equal to y in JavaScript to compare two items together. Understand? You can't use one equal sign because this one equal sign is used to assign a value to a variable or a function. Understand? It's used to assign values. We also have other relational operators like this one now tests for if x is equal to y. The last one is if s is greater than y, then it will run this. But if you look through this very well, you understand that x is 50 and y is 50. Both of them, they are the same. So it's going to run this block of code here, which is document the right x is equal to y. So when we save this now and we open this in our web browser and we refresh, you see x is equal to y. Alright, this R code here is having a deficiency. Let me just put it like that. Permit me to use that English. This is not the efficient way of writing a conditional statement, and that's how we have what we call the else if statement and the else statement. Now, when you use this if throughout, you know what is going to happen? The interpreter will check each block of code, even though it has discovered the one that is true. It will still check down to the least block of code. You understand? So like if it checks for, okay, is x less than y? No, x is not less than y. It will skip this and go here. Is s equals to y? Yeah, s is equal to y, but it will still go down here and say is x greater than y before it comes back here and read this. So this is not the efficient way of doing it. In order to make our work more efficient and to make JavaScript understand that, yeah, you need to stop when you see the actual answer, what you need to do is to use the else if statement. So what we need to do now is to come here and I'll just type the else if statement. So I'll say else if s is equal to y, then we say document.write s is equal to y, and we can now go for the else statement. So I'll just change it to else, and we can say else, because if these both conditions are false, then it will just have to read this. You don't need to write another condition again. So say, is else less than y? No, it's not less than y. Is s equal to y? Yeah, else is equal to y. I need to just stop here and forget about this. I need to just stop here and execute this block of code. So when you save this and you refresh, you still have the same answer. You understand? But this is the efficient way of writing it, and that's why we say if, else if, and the else statement are all combined together. Now, supposing we change one of the variable here, changing this one to like, okay, 40, and we save this and refresh. What do we have? X is greater than y, because s is 50 and y is 40. Alright, supposing we change this first value to something like 30 and we save this and you refresh, what do we have? S is less than y, because s is 30 and y is 40, so it's going to run the first block of code. X is less than y. Alright, so this is just what you need to know about the if, the else if, and the else statement. This is how to use them, and this is the syntax, you understand? And another thing again, we can also test for other relational operators. Like if you are wondering the other relational operators, let me quickly show you now. The equal to is used when you want to compare if two items are equal. This one is not equal to, that is when you want to compare if x is not equal to y, you understand? And this one is greater than, the greater than operator which we used earlier if you want to compare if s is greater than y, and this one, the less than, is used to compare if s is less than y. You can also compare if s is greater than or equal to y, and the last one is if s is less than or equal to y. So you can use them, you can practice them on your own, and you understand it more better. So I'll just change one of the relational operators here, so you see s is not equal to y. So if you save this and you refresh, you get s is not equal to y, because yeah, x is 30 and y is 40. Now, another thing I promised to explain to you guys is the Boolean data type. The Boolean data type is made up of just two values, that is true or false. So if you want to check if something is true or want to check if something is false, that's when you use the Boolean data type. And it's very important in the if statement, and that's why I decided to explain it when we are going to be treating the if statement. So for example, you can say if any real value is true, you can run document.write ob is a dog, and for sure it will give us that value. So if you refresh this, you have ob is a dog. For example, if I change this now to false and we save this and refresh, you won't have anything, because you have given the value false to if already. But if you change it back to true, that means you've made if true, and if you refresh, you have ob is a dog. Sorry, I'm using ob is a dog anyway. So this is just what you need to know about the Boolean data type. Alright, so to take a quick recap now, we treated the if statement, the else statement, the else if statement, all joined together. And in the process of trying to treat these statements, we learned how to use the relational operators and the Boolean data type. That's it guys for this episode. In our next tutorial, we are going to be treating the switch case statement. Thank you for watching. If you really learned something from this video, do well to click on that like button below and please subscribe. See you in the next episode.